The moment Claire stepped into the kitchen, she stopped breathing. Her baby sat in the middle of the floor, covered head to toe in white flour. And beside him, like two guilty statues caught mid-crime, sat their golden retriever Max and the tiny golden puppy, Sunny. Both stared at her with wide, shiny eyes, as if they were the ones who had walked in on her doing something wrong. For one suspended, impossible second, all three of them, baby and two dogs, stared at her exactly the same way, wide-eyed, frozen, waiting. Claire couldn't even speak. Not a single word passed her lips, because whatever had happened, whatever chaos they had created together, this wasn't just a mess. This was something else, something she did not understand yet, and something that was going to change her entire life. Before we get into what truly happened in that kitchen, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss another heart-gripping story that reminds us how unpredictable family life can be. Claire had been awake since 4:17 a.m. Her son, Noah, was in that stage where he wanted to see, touch, throw, and chew every object in the universe. Max adored following him around because to him, Noah was a tiny human who dropped snacks and smells everywhere. And Sunny, the new puppy, copied everything Max did, even if he didn't understand why. This particular morning had been worse than usual. Noah had cried for an hour straight after waking up. Teething, tiredness, or simply toddler rage, Claire didn't know. All she knew was exhaustion. Thick, heavy, bone-deep exhaustion that made her vision blur, and her thoughts drag like they were stuck in mud. She had finally managed to rock him back to sleep, but only for 20 minutes. Then he was up again. And when she finally got him content enough to sit with his toys, she made what she thought was a harmless decision. She turned her back for 3 minutes. Just 3 minutes. That was all it took. Claire had gone to switch the laundry from the washer to the dryer. The machine was in a small room just around the corner. She could still hear Noah babbling. She could hear Max's tags jingling. She could hear Sunny's tiny paws tapping on the floor. All normal sounds, nothing alarming, nothing unusual. So when she walked back toward the kitchen, humming softly, she expected to see exactly what she had left, a baby sitting with plastic blocks while the dogs curled beside him like fluffy guardians. But she didn't see that. Instead, when she reached the doorway, she froze. Flour everywhere, not sprinkled, not spilled, not dusted. Everywhere. On the floor, on the oven door, on the cabinets, on the dogs, on her child, on the stools, even trailing across the wooden planks all the way to the pantry. Claire blinked hard, wondering if exhaustion was causing hallucinations. Because how could flour possibly coat the entire room? And then she saw it. Max's tail, still lightly dusted with white, slowly swishing through the air like a guilty flag. Mystery solved. Kind of. But the strangest part wasn't the flour. It was the formation. Noah sat in the exact center of the kitchen floor, staring up at Claire with enormous, innocent eyes. Max sat directly behind him, his body pressed against the baby's back like a furry shield. And Sunny sat directly in front of Noah, stiff and alert, tiny paws planted on the flour-covered tiles. They were all sitting around Noah, not randomly. Protectively. Like they had been guarding him. That was the moment. Claire felt her heart pinch in confusion. She opened her mouth. What happened? None of them answered, obviously, but if they could have, she knew she'd get 2 wildly different stories and 1 dramatic baby babble. Noah, she whispered, stepping closer. Baby, what did you do? He blinked. Then he gave her the sweetest, guiltiest smile she had ever seen. That smile was her undoing, because she knew that smile. The last time she saw it, he had shoved an entire banana into the DVD player. Max let out a soft whine. Sunny stepped closer to Noah, placing his little body between the baby and the flour bag like he was standing guard. Why do you both look like you're protecting him? She murmured. That was when Max suddenly stood up and nudged Noah lightly with his nose, almost like he was checking if the baby was okay. Ma? Max, what's wrong? Max's tail tucked under his belly, his ears flattened. Sonny mimicked him, curling closer to Noah. Claire's stomach tightened. This wasn't just a mess. Something else was going on. Noah? She whispered again, kneeling. Are you hurt? She brushed flour from his cheeks, scanned his arms, his legs. Nothing. No scratches. No bruises. No blood. Nothing. But Noah kept pointing not at her, not at the dogs, but at the counter. Claire slowly turned her head. Her breath caught. The flour bag was shredded open, but not by teeth. Not by claws. It looked sliced. Cleanly like. Something sharp had cut into it. Her eyes traveled. Downward. There. A knife. Not fallen. Not accidentally. Dropped. Lying on the floor. Inches from where Noah had been sitting. Her heart stopped. Her legs turned to ice. Oh my God, she whispered. Oh my God. Max whined louder. Sonny pressed himself against Noah's legs protectively. Claire reached out with trembling fingers and picked up the knife, staring at it as if it were a bomb. There was flour on the blade. Only flour. Thank God. Max nudged her again, more urgently now, tail sweeping anxiously across the dusty floor. You were guarding him, she whispered, her voice cracking. You two were guarding him. Her knees buckled. Claire sat down hard on the flour-covered floor, clutching Noah to her chest while Max and Sonny pressed against her. She couldn't even breathe. What if? She couldn't finish the sentence. Tears blurred her vision. What if he grabbed it? What if he... She couldn't think it. She wouldn't. Her mind spiraled, imagining her little boy crawling forward, reaching for the flour bag, pulling it down, pulling the knife down with it. A terrible accident waiting to happen. But Max and Sonny had acted. They pushed the flour bag. They pushed Noah backward. They sat around him like walls. They protected him. Claire buried her face in Noah's flour-covered hair and sobbed. She kissed his head, kissed Max's head, kissed Sonny's tiny paws. Thank you, she whispered. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Max lowered his head onto her shoulder. Sonny crawled into her lap. Trembling slightly, Noah giggled and grabbed Sonny's ear. Later that afternoon, after the kitchen was scrubbed spotless, Claire sat on the couch watching Noah play with Max and Sonny. Noah squealed with laughter as Max gently nudged him with his nose, and Sonny tried to copy every move Max made. David walked in an hour later, freezing when he saw the flour smell lingering in the air. What happened? He asked cautiously. Claire looked at him. You won't believe it, she whispered. But Max and Sonny saved Noah's life today. David's face drained of color. And she told him everything. Every detail. Every moment. Every terrifying possibility. They avoided. David sank to the floor beside Max, wrapping his arms around the old dog's neck and whispering, voice cracking, Good boy. You're such a good boy. Max's tail thumped once against the floor. Sonny yipped softly and climbed into David's lap. Claire watched with tears in her eyes. That night, when Noah finally drifted off to sleep in his crib, Claire walked quietly down the hallway. She peeked inside. Max lay beside the crib, guarding it like a loyal soldier. Sonny lay curled at Max's stomach, tiny head resting on his big paws. Noah slept peacefully just inches away, safe and untouched by the danger he never even knew existed. Claire placed a hand over her heart. You belong right here, she whispered. Beside him, always. Max lifted his head and looked at her. He understood. Sonny lifted his tiny face. And as Claire turned to leave, she heard it. A soft thump, Max's tail. One slow, gentle, loyal wag. Always. She thought. Always. If this story touched your heart and reminded you how deeply animals love the little humans in their lives, don't forget to like this video, comment your thoughts, and subscribe for more emotional, true stories that show why family, no matter the shape or species, means everything.